kind of music and mead tonight. I am Regina, the Dark Eyed Musician, and usually there is a live stream of music that I do for this event, this monthly live stream. I play you relaxic, relaxing Celtic fantasy music, and we drink mead and we have a good time. And today's theme was going to be Earth Day because tomorrow's Earth Day, and I was going to play you all these beautiful songs that my patron suggested. And then I went to turn on my computer, which has kind of been on the fritz for a while, and it officially like is done. So I decided that since technology is not my friend today, I was still gonna have this event, and maybe we'll try to tackle one with more music next Monday if I can manage it. But for now, um, I'm just gonna do an AMA. Ask me anything. This is very spontaneous. I just wanted to come on here and say hi to you because I miss you, and I didn't want to cancel last minute because technology sucks. So yeah, this is your chance. Ask me anything you want. I mean, I reserve the right to give cryptic answers just in case. Hello, Terrence. Hello, David. Hi, Kelly and Bob. American Stronghold Meter, yes. Thanks for joining me for this spontaneous AMA. So you could ask me why did you wear a shirt that has a stain on it? That's great. You can see that right there. Because anyway, how is everybody doing? Cause mom, right? I mean this actually just came out of the wash. That's the very sad thing. Clearly I need different detergent. Um but yeah. So I do apologize. I actually got my I did get my some instruments ready, but again, because my phone is here and I'm streaming from my phone and I can't use my computer to read chords, everything's just kind of thrown off today. So again, please uh accept the adventure that life is, and we're just gonna have fun tonight. So think of intriguing questions. It could be anything. Ask that's the whole point. Ask me anything. But first, I'll ask you, how are you guys doing? What's new? How's April been for you? What are some things that you've been up to? Let me know in the comments. I did, even though I don't have music for you today, I did remember my mead. So I do have my little glass of mead here. So I hope you have a drink as well. Aw, thank you, Bob. That's so sweet. Oh, Bob is referencing my collaboration with Rosemary Moonrise. We did a cover of Secret Garden Sleep Song, and I love that. It was something that we worked on a while ago, and I guess you weren't really asking a question; you just brought it up. But it was a great one. I felt like I told her how I'd wanted to do this song for a while, and she's really great with making arrangements. I can do them too, but it takes me a little longer, and so I sent her like a very crappy rough draft, and then I sent it on to her, and she made it beautiful, and then it came out so well. I was very proud. Uh, hello, Anivaldo. All right, let's see. Kelly says, "Oh, I'm so sorry you're not feeling well. I don't know if listening or watching this stream is going to help your migraine. I'm sorry. I wish I had soft, soothing music for you. I'm also in a different room. This is my living room, so you can kind of see the couch behind me. Different place to be than I normally am. Oh, that helps. Now you can see me better. Look at that. Ah, dang it. Hold on, sorry. Adjusting phone. I apologize for that. I'm so sorry. Migraines are terrible. I'm so sorry for that, Kelly. I'm glad you're feeling better now. My phone, whatever. We'll just leave it. I'm really glad you're feeling better now. That's exciting. But sorry that you had to miss orchestra. That's rough. Let's say I'm reading comments. So if I look, the dazed look of like me sitting here like this, that's me. That's me reading comments. That's a fabulous comment. I don't even know. It's probably some troll coming in the comments. Whatever. Every time I do it on my phone, where it's like the upright live stream, I always get random people coming in. Whatevs. But anyway, here we are. Hi, Joshua. Thanks for joining. Go ahead and give this a like if you're enjoying this almost AMA. Um, Reading comments here. Cryptic comment reading face. Wow, a 10-mile race on Sunday. Good for you, Bob. Good for you. Gosh, I walk up the stairs and I'm winded. So everybody give Bob a round of applause. I'm always amazed. I've never been to Key West either. That sounds awesome. Let's see. Looking down at more comments. Spreading the word of mead. That's so cool. This is American Stronghold telling me that he's got lots of festivals and shows going on for his business, which is awesome. What is something, no, I'm gonna ask you a question. What is something, so regarding mead, like that people don't always know about it? Is it just not as well known because it's kind of niche in places like Renaissance festivals at this point in time? Do you think it should be something that's more widely consumed? Obviously, it's your business, so yes, but like, do you talk about how it's like the multiple appliques of like it's great to go with this type of food and it's wonderful with that, or like how it's made is so interesting. I'm curious how you spread the word about mead, because I truly, besides the fact that I enjoy it and I drink it and it's a an alliteration to music, music and mead, I don't really have a lot of experience with it. I think it'd be really fun to try to make it, but that's a whole endeavor that I'm not ready for at this point in time. So let me know. Hello, Ramesh. Welcome from India. Hello. I guess it's morning where you are. Cool. It is nighttime where I am. So thinking about ah, you are from and Evaldo is from Brazil. I don't know much about Brazil, but I like a lot of music artists from Brazil, and I think you have a really interesting country. So welcome from Brazil. Thanks for stopping in. I apologize if I didn't read your comment earlier. Let's see. Joshua's going to be selling his latest 2 books at a convention on Friday. Oh, no, you got it. We were talking about current activities. You got it. Yeah, like I wonder if American Meadery is working on getting meat into restaurants. That'd be really cool. Or even like bars and places locally. Be cool. Because like you can definitely find it, at least where I am. Um, I think you can find it at a lot of like liquor stores, obviously, but even where I am, I feel like the not a huge selection. So it's still, I feel like it's very like you have a very small selection and you get what you get. And again, I'm no expert on meat, except that I like it. The one I'm drinking now is the same one I've had for a while. It's not my favorite. I feel like it's very light and kind of thin compared to other ones, and I don't know what that means in terms of the process of making it, but that's where we're at. All right, reading Americans' uh, comment. So he says maybe more education. Education is the way to go. Teaching people about it, uh, because people are into craft beverages. So I guess it's kind of speaking to the niche. Cool. uh, Anyway, so far nobody has asked me a single question. This is your big chance. You can ask me literally anything. I mean, again, I have the right to say what I want in response, but you can ask me anything. uh, how interesting. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no? This is controversial. Controversial, Kelly, bringing in controversy. No, I think it's very weird. I'm a very boring boring pizza person. I'm pepperoni pizza, or I really like white pizza with like broccoli on it. Like, how boring can you get? I don't even like sauce. Uh, all right, Kelly, we can go get pizza sometime. We can agree to split a good pizza. I do have some original. I do have some original songs. I have two that I shared with patrons a few months ago, probably more than a few months ago, that have now been finished being written. It's just a matter of, again, technology has been really hard. My laptop is just on the fritz, and we are working on budgeting for a new computer, probably an actual desktop computer that's going to have good storage, possibly something that I have a lot of techie friends, which is awesome. So we're talking to them about like building me kind of a custom tower um, that would allow me to have all the storage I need and not. I think that's partially why my computer's kind of like suffering right now, even though I have deleted a large amount of things from my computer. It is just a laptop and it is from 2019. So it is almost 6 years old. So I don't know if that's the life of a computer these days. Um, but yes, I do have the Rowan Tree is one, which I just adore. And I have to say, I know a lot of you know my littlest is his name is Rowan, and I do sing it to him, and he loves it. He always dances when I sing it to him, so it's very special. And um, it's not like a lullaby. It's a very peppy, fun song. So I'm very proud of that song. I just again I've sat down to work on it multiple times, and I have literally recorded an entire song, and then my computer just shuts down and I lost it all. Even if I saved it, I lost everything. So um it's very frustrating. And then the other one is that the lullaby song that I finally finished writing. I'm very proud of that. And then I always have something. I always have some song that I'm like noodling around with. I know Joshua and I have talked about doing a project together, which would be really fun. Um, when I get to that. A challenge I've given myself that I still am kind of sitting on is I really want to lengthen Eowyn's lament. In the movie, they only have, of the two towers, they only have a very short amount that she sings, but there is a longer poem at the beginning. And I don't know Old English at all, but I've wanted to challenge myself to see if I could put it to music and kind of link it into the song that you hear her sing at Theodred's funeral. That is one of my most viewed shorts. So there's a bit of a mercenary bit about it because I feel like it is popular. People have found my channel from that short. They enjoyed how my take on it. Somebody asked me if I was the one from the movie who was singing it. I was like, first of all, I was like really, really, really young when the movie came out, like old enough to see the movie in theaters, but I think I was like 11 when the first one came out. So, nope, definitely not me singing in the movie. But I thought it was a very sweet thing to say. But anyway, that's the other things. That's my update on that. Whew, going up to question about the website. My website is currently offline. That is correct. I will work on that. It is still intact. Just a little. I had a little bit of a pause there, so it is currently paused. So I do apologize. Website will be back and running soon. Um, so I think so. I'm a little bit confused. Americans' question to me. Maybe a live and streamed event from Red Wine and Brew. Is that so? You're asking me if I would ever consider doing some kind of live stream event for anything local? Um, I have not done. I think that's what you're asking me. I'm definitely open to ideas about doing that. Right now, my family life is very busy, so it's hard for me to schedule out. I don't know if I'm quite ready for that yet, if that is what you're asking. Hence why I typically hide behind the computer, um, because it's just hectic in my life right now. I have tried to do at least one or two. I did do one local performance back in 2023, at a local festival, and I had a lot of fun doing that. Um, so I'd love to do more. I would love to busk, like go to the public market and just like bring my auto harp and start playing. Anyway, like Josh, we're still talking about pineapple and pizza. Pineapple shouldn't be anywhere near pizza. uh, my brand, the laptop is an HP. Don't hate me too much. I think that'd be really fun, American. So maybe I'll message you on Patreon and see. I think you're one of my members there, so I can certainly message you and chat about that idea. It could be really fun. Yeah, I would love that. Um, oh no, you had it for 12 to 13 years, and then you found it only lasts for 3 to 5 years. Oh no. Well, I'm impressed it lasted that long. Yeah, I don't know a lot about computers, which except, obviously how to run the programs that I typically use. Um, but the thing I kept telling my husband was like, I don't do a lot with it. Like besides email, I'm just on there like, I have my song recording. I use OBS for live streams, and occasionally I'll edit videos on there, but that is a lot of space, I realize, but at the same time I'm not I feel like there's not a lot of complicated stuff happening. So I think it's just that things die. Same, Joshua, same. I think that's part of it. I think it's just because it's Windows and they're just like mad at me. They're PO'd because I'm not updating. Agreed. Windows 7. Wow. It's like the dark ages. Well, actually, no. I think Windows 7 was the best. I think, if I'm remembering, because I think I have Windows 10 and Windows 11 nobody likes. Kind of like how Windows 7 was good and then Windows Vista came and like everybody hated it. Let's see. I did do an Easter egg hunt for my kids. That's a good question, Bob. Yes, we did. We did baskets by their beds, and then they got to come downstairs and they got to look for eggs. And then we did another Easter egg hunt at my mother-in-law's, which is outdoors. We actually had a beautiful day yesterday, so it was a lot of fun. Um, my kids, I gave them a lot of like seeds for planting in their little Easter baskets, along with like chocolate, obviously. So they were outside this morning trying to plant in there. They made a makeshift garden all on their own in the middle of our yard. I don't really have a big stake in nice clean grass lawns. Our lawn is very patchy and who knows what, but the kids love it. So they made their own garden, and I got them all little flower packets and seed packets so they could kind of like try to garden. So you did an Easter egg hunt for your dog. That's hilarious. Did she like it? That's so funny. What did you put inside the eggs? Dog treats? I'm gonna have some of my meat here, so sláinte to you. I hope you have a great, lovely rest of your April. I'm not saying goodbye, but I just wanted to wish you good health and happiness. Speaking of drinking mead, I don't know if it's a recent song of his, but I do enjoy the artist Miracle of Sound. My kids really like his stuff too. And he has a cool song. Again, I don't know if it's recent or not, called Skull, I think is how you say it. It's the Scandinavian version of like Cheers. It's a great song. Lamb dog treats. Ooh, she's so spoiled. I bet she had a great time with that. That's so adorable. Yeah, I really like it. It's very cheerful and fun. I like a lot of his stuff. I always tease I laugh about my kids. We have a long going Spotify playlist with tons of songs on there, and it always amuses me the songs that my kids like best. We have everything from like "A Video Killed the Radio Star" to "Everybody Dance Now" or "Gonna Make You Sweat" from the 90s to like a bunch of Sabaton songs and what other one do we really like? Things from movies. We have a few movie themes. Like, so anytime if I put it on shuffle, you're just like in this. roller coaster of who knows what. And it's really fun. Ooh, Nordmead. That's cool. Oh, that's another song he does. Awesome. She even got a burger patty. Slipknot. Oh yes, Bob. Other Bob. I don't know. My kids like Sabaton better than Slipknot. Just saying. I do like Legends of the Frost. That's a fun one. And we were just listening to another one of his, Ode to Fury. That's another great one. He's just got great songs. I love how he can make it. Obviously, he uses his own voice typically, but it always sounds like this big choir of like men singing a song. I enjoy it very much. Ha ha ha, Ellen. So, did I invite the raccoon inside for the Easter egg hunt? No, we're currently trying to dispose of said raccoon, which is harder than you'd think. I don't know if I want to give away too much, but raccoons, we have a resident raccoon, not inside my house, thank God, but no, who seems to have discovered our garbage can, which fair enough, they're called trash pandas for a reason. Um, but I love how we got like the little humane like catch the animal for catch and release, and you put the food on like a little metal plate and it's supposed to like trigger the plate and it shuts the door. And I literally looked out the window this morning and I can see it in the crate, but it wasn't stepping on the metal thing and it's just like eating the food without touching the metal plate. I'm like, ah, I don't know what to do. So feel free if anybody has experience with raccoons, um, that they know how to get rid of them. I'd love to know. I wouldn't be as concerned if I didn't have small children. Ugh, I feel like no raccoons. I think raccoons are one of those animals that are very, very they're very like what's the word I want to use? Like mice. They're very romanticized. They're very romanticized in children's movies and fiction, like, or in art. You always see like Beatrix Potter. There's like bunny rabbits and sweet little meadow mice, and then like you have mice around, and you're like they're gross. Um, I imagine myself being like Cinderella with my pet mice and loving them and singing them songs and teaching them to, help me sew my clothes. And the reality is, I don't like them. Ooh, any plans to bring the family to a Ren fair this year? Ah, that's very brave. I don't know about this year, but I can't wait till my kids are ready for that. So I don't know about this year. Not so no, I don't have any current plans. I'd have to consider if this is the good year to go. I I don't know. At least I would love to find a Ren fair that's a little bit more I don't want to say kid friendly because obviously I think they are very family friendly events. If there's a show that's a little bawdy or whatever, they'll usually make a note of it and like let people know that it's maybe not for younger kids. Like at least that's what ours does. So I'm not saying that they're not family friendly events in general. Um but I found the last time I took my kids to the one that's closest to us, they were very young and everything costs money. Like after the head charge of like the tickets to get in, any event that the kids wanted to do, which was everything, was an extra like $4 to $5 depending. So I just wasn't really ready for that. After you pay like I think at the time this is pre-COVID, so at the time it was like $18 a kid. I'm sure it's a little more than that. After I paid that for my kids, yeah, I just wasn't ready. I didn't bring enough money. So I'd have to really plan it out. So when you're older, as a teenager or a middle schooler or whatever, when you can wander the Ren Fair and that's half the fun of it, right? It's just talking to the actors and walking around and having a great time and stopping and seeing shows and things like that. At the time, my oldest was like 4 when we went, so I had a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a tiny baby, and it was just a lot more challenging than I thought. So they didn't seem to enjoy those things that I enjoyed, like the shows. They wanted to they wanted to do all the games and stuff. That was just a little extra. So, I guess I would like one that I understand you want to pay the vendors, but something that's maybe a little bit more for kids, or just wait a little longer. Tuxedo, I have been to the tuxedo one. you would rate it better than Sterling. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people rate it better than Sterling. That's so interesting. My sister is a big Tuxedo Ren Fair fan. She went multiple times last year. She's one of those people. She's gone many, many times, and has always liked it better. I have also been to Kingdom Fair, which is a smaller one that was running for a couple of years, and I think they recently got a new location. I'm not quite sure where that's going to be. Let's see. Oh no, my song Fire's Glow gave you a jump scare. That's hilarious. I remember when I shared that song on Patreon and Joshua was was like, for a song that's called Fire's Glow, I thought it was going to be like relaxing, kind of mystical, and it's very like dance. So I never really thought about that until you brought that up. Very interesting. But I have been to Tuxedo again, to going back to the Ren Fair. Bob, I'm curious if you've ever been to Tuxedo. I know you're not from the New York area, but if you've been there anyway, it's the big New York City. It's the New York City one. We call it Tuxedo because that's how we know it, but I think a lot of people just know it as the New York City Ren Fair. But yeah, it's been years, but I have been. um, I'm thinking back to my Ren Fair that I went to with my children, and again, my oldest daughter was like 4, and I let her. We went to ride the jousting horses, and in my mind I was like, well, that's worth the money to pay for that because it's a real horse. You get to sit on a real horse, and how exciting. And she was quite thrilled. But this horse they're enormous, as everybody knows if you've been to a Ren Fair. So this is like, I'm not sure if they're what breed of horse they are, but they're huge. And so my daughter, this little peanut of a kid, and she's like laying down on it, like clinging to it because she was so nervous. And she did pretty well, but she actually didn't get to walk the whole paddock. She could only walk like a little bit because she was so nervous because the horse was so big. Like, well, we tried. um, I have a great, cute little video of it, so I think we can prove that she got to ride one of the horses. um, anyway, did anybody else? Ooh, ooh, not been to Tuxedo. King Richard's Fair. Okay. Oh, Connecticut. Okay. So is Connecticut like a good size run fair? Do they not have run fairs in Massachusetts? I'm curious. Whew. I am happy to talk about run fairs for forever, but again, just to remind you, this is an AMA, so you can ask me whatever you want. It could be completely random. You could ask me, what's my favorite color? Um, now I'm thinking of Monty Python. What's your favorite color? Blue. No, yellow. Anyway, um, so anybody else want to chime in with a question? I'm happy to talk about it. I do have hi Tommy, welcome. Thanks for joining the live stream. This is a surprise ask me anything music and mead. For technological reasons, we do not have a usual music and mead, but I'm here to chat and answer your questions. Ah, interesting. They're smaller in Massachusetts. I judge a state by the size of its run fairs. uh, cats or dogs? Am I gonna get in trouble if I say dogs because I know you're a cat person? uh, I I will say dogs. I am more of a dog person, but mostly because I'm allergic to cats. Um, and most of my family is allergic to cats, so I've never really. gotten to do that. Let's see. Ooh, why is the sky blue? There's a scientific reason. Do you think you'll make videos for new songs like Song of the Shield Maiden? Oh, I already have the videos. Oh, um, like, are you asking me if I'd make a video in a similar vein of Song of a Shield Maiden, like with like kind of the same theme or costumes? I guess I'm confused. I want to make sure I answer that properly. Bob. Uh, oh my goodness. Husband Bob, not other Bob. Let's see. What is my favorite song? So I do want to answer Rantarn's question up there. I just want to make sure I got it correct. So if you can just let me know if you're asking me if I want to make more like Viking type videos, or if you're asking me if I want to do Oh, with the costumes and outside. Ooh, okay. I'm probably gonna be if I for future music videos, unless I have like crazy inspiration, I'm gonna be pulling back a little bit. That was a very as much fun as Song of the Shield Maiden was. It was such a huge endeavor, and trying to coordinate everybody to come out and get them all costumed. I had so much help from friends, and it was definitely fun. But then filming it was like it was a very long day. Um, we had a lot of fun. I regret nothing. I'm very proud of the product that we made. But I'm just not sure. It's a lot easier to either go myself and set up a camera or just get a friend and do something solo than it is to get so many people involved in costumes, so many people. We did it as cheaply as humanly possible, but it was still was a big, it was a big endeavor. Myth and Lore was the last music video I made. Was it the last music video? Oh, I was gonna say. Well, the last one I technically filmed was Sleep Song. We just never released it because we couldn't coordinate it with my collaborator. So I was very proud of that one. I'm still proud of it. Just has not been seen. I'm going to go back to American's question up here. What is your favorite song or songs to sing with friends? Um, that's a very good question. In the Irish folk genre, I would probably say Wild Rover because you get that great chorus. Um, And it's no, nay, never, clap, 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 no, nay, never, no more. So I do love that one. I have to say that just in general, without being themed, I think something along the lines of either Bohemian Rhapsody, because you can't hear Bohemian Rhapsody and not sing it, and Don't Stop Believing, because it's a great song. It's like you have to just scream it to the world, and you have to love the fact that they tease the chorus like 5 times before the chorus actually comes in. It's classic. Let's see. How do Floridians know when to stop mowing the waves? Ha ha ha, very funny. Oh my goodness. I have done other music videos besides Myth and Lore. That was the last one I did that was like outside. And actually I have to say I think Myth and Lore is probably my favorite. I I do very much appreciate Mongolian music, at least the stuff I've heard. I don't know if I'm wise enough to differentiate Mongolian folk music from like Mongolian pop music at this point. I think they're very kind of blended in terms of what's being put out on the internet. So I've certainly found some very interesting groups who are like, oh, this Mongolian like band, but they're kind of it's very eclectic in the style. So they're bringing in, I think, elements of probably traditional music and then right. So very fun. It's one of those great treats where you watch it or you listen to it and you're like, I know nothing about this culture and it's fascinating. Like as an American and as somebody again without a deep understanding of their culture and their history, um, it's fascinating to see like what to me just seems like how do you say this? Like it's just so new. It's so new. It's so different to me. Fascinating. I love stuff like that. Um, I also teach a world music class for my kids' homeschool co-op, and I part of I love world music, like period. I always find it interesting to kind of reach into other cultures and just hear what how things work. And I love to see the similarities, but also to see the differences. It's fascinating. Um, and we earlier in the semester in the winter we were doing like I did South Korea, which is very interesting. If you listen to traditional South Korea, obviously there's K-pop guys. Like let's K-pop is a totally different genre in and of itself. But if you listen to traditional folk music from Korea, it's very interesting. I think in my head, I imagined it would sound somewhat similar to other East Asian cultures, and it does not. It does not. It's very its own thing. Very, very different. You could tell like right away. It's just such unique sounds. And even though sometimes the instruments are similar or they're built similarly, they're played so differently and they sound so different in the music. So that was fascinating. We did that. Korea, Japan, and China. We briefly touched on some Russia, and I always bring it in. I always show them like dances too, like traditional dances, and we talk about what that looks like and the costumes that they wear and the roles that the different characters play. It's so much fun. Let's see. Uh, if you could go anywhere on vacation, where would it be? Ooh, anywhere. I think if I wanted it to be a true vacation, I would absolutely love to go somewhere in like the Caribbean. I've been to Hawaii when I was a child, but I would love to go to the Caribbean and just see what it's like down there, or any maybe like Central or South America. Like I've never really been in that environment. I feel like it'd be so different. Like I would love to go elsewhere, obviously. There are many places. Ireland would be amazing, other places would be amazing, but I feel like I don't think I would ever live in the Caribbean. I don't think I would ever live in a tropical climate. I don't think it would quite suit me. Um, so it would be a great thing to experience as a vacation. Like it would be so cool to go and like try the culture. And I would probably be in tough shape because I don't really like fish very much, but we'd figure it out. There's other things. Let's see. Uh, have you seen the Jackie Chan movie Skip Trace? I have not, although I do love Jackie Chan. Classic, classic. He's a classic actor. Let's see. Uh, I mean, I don't know that Jackie Chan's movies are ever rated very high, just because they usually are they're so fun in like that kind of goofy way. Um, let's see. In that class, you share songs with the kids. Yes, I share. I do my research, as much as I can, and I typically will use different forms of media. Depending on my level of comfort, I've also brought in like I've done different. We did dances, like we did a version of the Tarantella, which is from Italy. So a lot of fun, a lot of fun. I love world music. Not that I know a whole lot about it, but again, I do enjoy it when I can. Oh, cool. I actually have two friends from Cameroon. How cool. I love the song Tir na Nog. I I love I know the Celtic version, the Celtic woman version. So yes, I would love to do that song. How many instruments do I play? Um, hmm. Obviously record piano's probably my first, but like voice piano. So piano's my first, definitely my most comfortable. I can play guitar, auto harp. I'm improving. So that's three. Um, I can definitely do whistle, recorder, and there's multiple recorders. I still haven't really gotten the hang of the ocarina, which is interesting. I've tried. I'm still not very good at it. And then again, I guess we're up to about five. I guess if you count percussion, djembe, bull run. I'm still working on. I feel like percussion's a bit cheat like because I'm not really playing like complicated percussion instruments. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's about it. It's about five. Is that five? I guess I'd count the flute. I can play flute a little bit, but not very well. If Kelly's still on here, I don't play flute like Kelly. Oh, there's Kelly. I can't play ocarina and I can't play flute as well as Kelly, the nerdy flutist, can. So please go to her if you want to hear either of those things. Actually, very sad news. My beautiful bamboo flute from the Sterling Renaissance Fair, on topic, previous topic here, just out of nowhere cracked down the middle. And I mean, like, it's one piece of bamboo, it's about this big. Yeah. And it literally just cracked all the way down about that part, far apart. And I just like, it was just sitting in my music room as it always has. So I'm not sure if my music room got a little too dry over the winter. I've had it since I was probably 16 or 17, so it's not a new flute. But it was really sad. It was very, I don't know. I'll have to go back to the Sterling Renaissance Fair and get a new flute. Very sad. With new learning. How frustrated does my husband get with new learning the scratch and grown up learning new instruments? Uh, he's pretty. I don't often play when he's around. That sounds so funny to say that, and I don't mean that because I'm embarrassed of it. I just um right now he works nights, so he's not home right now. So that's normally my time when I would be working on an instrument. So not often. I guess he just wouldn't really complain. But then again, keep in mind, I'm not playing like if I'm playing with the auto harp, it's so much less offensive to your ears when you're playing when you're like learning the auto harp than it is if you're learning the violin. I tried violin in college, man, just for a methods course. I had to like take string methods one, and it was dreadful. And I've tried clarinet, equally dreadful. Slightly better, but trumpet, terrible. Like it's, and I feel bad because you're like, this is why people go to play piano because at least the keys are all there. And if your piano's tuned or if you're playing a keyboard, at least it's on pitch. I mean, the sound is there. You might not know what you're doing, but you can learn a very simple song and it will sound beautiful. And you could also learn a very simple song on a violin and it sounds like cats dying until you get good. So, yeah. Keep that in mind. I'm not learning anything that crazy. Yes, please, Tommy, go ahead. I will check my Instagram. If you send me something on Instagram, I will definitely check it. I don't often go on my Instagram anymore for mental health reasons, but I will check it for sure. Yeah, I was just noodling around my ocarina today and I realized like I know nothing about how to play this instrument. Like I can noodle some songs on it, but it's difficult. So I always think of you, Kelly. I was just my children and I are reading through Harry Potter, and we are on book three, and I let them watch the third movie, and that's my favorite soundtrack of the Harry Potters. I think I've mentioned that before, and I love that whole flute section. It's about the Whomping Willow. I think you probably know the one I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure the very end it's a piccolo that kind of takes the last few notes, and I'm curious if you ever played it. I would love to if when you have time for music, definitely work on that one because that would be really fun to hear you play just that part or watch you play it. Like I think it's incredibly difficult. um, so Bob asked me if my children have been learning any instruments or if they're interested in doing so. At this point in time, we had to a couple of years ago we had them in piano lessons, my two oldest, and we had to stop that. I do let them noodle on my piano. They still have their lesson book, so I guess they can play some piano. My son Jack is much more interested in playing guitar, but that's a lot more difficult. So I'll see when he maybe gets a little older, a little more coordination. I think he'd be really good at guitar. Um, Certainly, I try to encourage any kind of jams or music playing as much as possible, and singing as much as possible. So my oldest two were actually in a cute little play they did Wizard of Oz this spring. They just had their performance back in late March, and So they got a lot of fun singing and dancing in that. They were just in the chorus, but it was fun. Let's see. I think so. We're talking Harry Potter here. I think book three. I would say I would agree with that. So I liked the third movie, but I would agree with you that it's not much like the third book. So personally, I liked the movie. Um, but I concede that it's about the point where things start to kind of veer. Where things that are normal start to get like where things that the first two follow the book so faithfully and the third one like does to a degree, but then it kind of takes it in a different direction on several points. And I think that's about when things start in the Harry Potter movies start to kind of go, but I love the aesthetics of the third one and I love the soundtrack. So um I think that's why it's always been one of my favorites. Um Oh no, you sent me a pic of the music from Harry Potter so I can weep and cry about how difficult it is. Joshua, if you were thinking about learning the guitar, I definitely think guitar is a great one to start with. I think that I don't know if I'd say start with. I think piano is probably the easiest to start with if you want to if you're trying to learn music and learn an instrument, piano is probably your best bet. Because again, there's very little to do to make the sound. Even if you're just playing a keyboard, it's all there and it's very visible and you can see everything and all you have to do is coordinate your hands to like press the keys versus like a guitar where you have to coordinate pressing down these very hard strings that are going to give you lots of it's tough on your fingers but also it's very hard on like your calluses. You have to build calluses in order to be comfortable, all of that stuff. And learning music and learning how to strum or pick, there's just a lot more elements to it. So I think if you did want to learn anything, you know, or try ukulele, which I feel like is like a guitar but simpler and smaller, cheaper. Or grab yourself an auto harp if you happen to find one, because again, you're kind of taking some of that extra stuff out of there. Let's see. Mouth harp, how fun! I love that. That's so fun. I heard the same thing, Joshua, and I was very mad. Especially because I thought it looked super cool. Um, no, I have not. I also felt like there wasn't a lot like this is just in general as somebody who heard about it but hasn't seen it. So if anybody's seen it and they enjoyed it, fair. Um, but I felt like you had such an opportunity to have all the things that you want. Like a video game comes out. I don't even play video games. A video game comes out and like people are talking about the story and they're talking about the soundtrack is going on sale and people are they're learning all the YouTubers, the nerdy YouTuber musicians like me, they're out there doing the songs. They're oh Fiona, hold on a second. I'll be right there. Stay up on the stairs. Hey, go. No, go. No. I'll be up, okay? I'm almost done. My little ones. Oh wait, hold on. I want you to go upstairs and I'll be with you in just a minute. What? In a little bit. I'm gonna finish up, okay? Wait upstairs in your bed, okay? I'm I'm just doing a live stream. I'll explain it later, okay? No, no. Go upstairs. I'll be up in a few minutes, okay? Go. I Yes, I know. Go upstairs, sweetheart. I'll be there in a few minutes. uh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I will have to leave in just a few minutes. I almost made it to an hour. My daughter, my 4-year-old, is asking me if I'm talking to myself, which no, I I see how it seems like I am. Um, okay. Handpan is looks so cool. I swear I see people doing that. They're like do 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 do. Yeah, yeah. Harpeggi is such a beautiful sounding instrument that's a mix of piano and guitar. I have not. That sounds so cool. Okay, I own a pan flute, and it is one of those instruments that I feel like like a lot of instruments where you see people play it and you're like, oh my gosh, like you just blow across the holes and like yeah, like right, and then like you go to play it and you're like, this is so hard. So deceptively easy instrument, I think. Um, let's see, going up. There was something we were talking. Oh, we were talking about Royal Through here. So what I was trying to say was that again, if something comes out, like there's so much culture around the game or around the movie or whatever, and I felt like this had the opportunity to have that, and they didn't give us any of that, as far as I'm aware. Like there was no theme songs, no. I guess from a musician point of view, like I didn't get any like, oh, and then this one time where the Rohirrim like sing their song, like if it was in the movie, again, I haven't seen it, nobody talked about it. So like clearly it wasn't that good. And if it wasn't in the movie, that was a missed opportunity. You could have built something from that. You really used that fan base to, you know, give a beautiful song, excuse me, a beautiful song and create that kind of that ripple effect of culture. Like they did that with the Witcher series on Netflix, even if people didn't enjoy the later seasons, but like from the beginning, like you had a few songs, but toss it a coin to your Witcher. I mean, my gosh, everybody and their brother did that song for like 2 years. Like people were talking about it. They built that culture. I know that they had an existing culture, but again, so does War of the Rohirrim. It has the existing fan base. So I think if they had given us something like that, if they had given us um, just more culture, more background, backstory, more richness, I think regardless of where the film was going to go, I think there would have been a lot more hype around it. Let's see. All right, so I am gonna have to. Let's see a song. It can. Like I didn't even watch Rings of Power. I'll be serious, but I liked the songs that came out of it. So like I'll sing the songs. I'll enjoy the music. Like you know what I'm saying. Like I think that you can still kind of get that culture around it and build that up and get. I think it's just much better. And again, you're giving a better world, a better art form. In my opinion. So I don't know if there was stuff in More the Rohirrim, but like I said, I heard nothing. I heard nothing about. I didn't hear any extra songs or who wrote the music or any of that stuff, which I think really helps. Okay, this was lovely. I will let you know on Patreon again. Even if you're just a free member, I'll link it in there. I will do an announcement if I can manage an actual music and meet on next Monday. I'll figure out some kind of maybe I can use my husband's laptop or something. So we will figure it out. But thank you for joining me for this spontaneous Ask Me Anything. I enjoyed your questions. I enjoyed talking to you. And I hope you have a wonderful week and a beautiful Earth Day tomorrow. I'm taking my kids on a field trip. We're going to go hike in the woods. So I hope you have such another experience and get to appreciate our beautiful Earth. All right. Bye, everybody. Take care. It was nice seeing you all.